Appreciate you for clicking on the video. Before you go, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm out.
Look like Big Bank, who did chime in earlier, and Big Bank is right here. He got Pluto and he got Savage on the phone. He got both of them on the phone. And look like whatever issues they did have, which we couldn't find much of it other than this whole Future felt a way about the inclusion of Savage on a potential Drake project in terms of a collab album, because he feels like, you know, we did a collab album first. Why are you going to do it with somebody else, right? But whatever that energy was, whether Future did have that energy or not, clearly now we see both of them on the phone, right? So it looked like they've squashed it to a certain extent. Let's see. What did Savage post anything to his Instagram? No. But it's on Twitter, right? Yeah, none of them even posted it. But Big Bank, he posted it. Here we go. Yeah. So like on a street level, like we can't fuck with that. But you're our friend. And just like how you know what looks crazy, chat? This is the craziest part about it. And this is why I kind of agree with Savage, and I'm glad it felt like he started having independent thinking. Yo, you know what looks horrible for Thug? All that shit you're saying, give me a second. This is your father, the man who gave you birth, the man who you probably was the first man around, hopefully your son, and you taught him principles. You taught him how to be a man. You taught him things that he could identify with, and this is your son. Not your son. I mean, this is your father. Sorry. Your father is hugging Gunna. And when I first saw it, I'm like, I don't think this is the full story. The full story must be like they don't fuck with this guy. Like they don't fuck with the father. And then I looked on Twitter today. We seen the same guy. So back-to-back nights, the same guy is taking a picture with Thug. Because if Thug got all that energy to anybody else who could have that type of thing, what do you have towards yourself? Yeah, I get it. Your hands are folded, like you're not, but that's still your father. And your father communicates very frequently with someone you don't really seem to care about. And then it's crazy when I watch this. It's crazy when I look at this and I look at this. The important lesson to learn here is that most things in life are about the relationships you build, the people you meet. Thug's being stubborn. Thug, you damn near cried over that nigga, man. Of course you're hurt. Of course you want an explanation. But the idea that you're good without it, I don't believe for 1 second. You want that explanation. You want to figure out why Gunna did what he did. You want to figure out if Gunna really, like, heartlessly was saying, fuck this nigga Thug, I don't care what happened to him. You definitely want these things. But we're all left with the same questions. And that's why I like Savage for advancing it. So none of y'all gonna say nothing? Never forget.
Welcome to Perspective with Bank. Okay.
And at the end of my conversation, I say, get my number if y'all want to know something.
What make young
The
niggas
smartest
feel
nigga gonna
they
be
can
like,
spin the
bitch ass nigga,
police,
you ain't
though?
telling them then.
What make y'all young niggas feel like y'all can spin the police though?
Just
I don't
come,
understand that though. I don't understand that.
man. The week all this went on and took out, please, at the end of the and all I run on the phone. Hey, bro, me and Goo out, motherfucker, people on this case. All you know is 3 niggas. Me, Gunna, and Duke. That's the only niggas you know on this case, Gunna. So when you said, yes, I know 3 or more niggas that committed these crimes, who the fuck is you talking about? Me, Gunna, and Duke? Cause we the only niggas you know anyway. I know you could have been talking about anybody. It's cool. But just so happen how the dice roll, you don't know nothing but 3 niggas. So
Interesting, bruh. Yo, at the end of the day, and you know what? Just because it's late, I'm just gonna, I feel like I dragged and I did a lot of like sidetracking throughout this convo. So, I'll give it straight for 10 minutes. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. And for anybody who think I'm hiding from it, I'm not. $21 Savage sold 53,000 first week. And some of y'all are going to say, nah, he only started tweeting because he sold that. That's not what came across to me. Are we being honest here, people? That's not what came across to me. I think Savage has always been someone that people sees. I see him as this. And I might be a little bit biased, but I know him personally. Listen, he's the one who called me on the phone. Yo, he put me and Meek Mill on the phone. Meek Mill's talking to me like a rapper at first. And he had to make sure, like, yo, come on, we don't need to do that. Yo, bro, y'all here to talk. This ain't Meek. Nigga, Meek hopped out of a vehicle. This is facts. I'm not trying to make Meek look crazy. He's doing a rapper shit. Savage is there being a human. Yo, Ack. Here's Meek, here's Ack. Yo, listen, I fuck with y'all both, man. Like, bro, none of y'all want to do nothing to each other, really. Like, yo, y'all just got some disagreements. Yo, bro, come on. Y'all just talk. Y'all figure out something. I'm going to be on the phone with y'all. Come on, like, y'all talkers, man. Y'all niggas never talk. And I ain't going to lie to you, the first thing Meek did, he started doing, which I'm calling it rapper shit. Yo, Act, man, I'm always prepared to go to war, man. He hops out of the car. Yo, listen, man, I have bulletproof cars. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm not trying to make Meek look crazy. What I respect about Savage is that he's a human. Like, especially to even the media guy, he's a human. I ain't never seen him as a rapper. This is why sometimes I be feeling bad because I'm like, yo, because I don't really look at him like a rapper like that, and not that it's not good, because of course I bump his music, but it's like, it kind of might come across that he's more of the homie than, you have a friend and you be like, yo, you don't bump his shit as much as other people bump his shit, type shit. But here's the point I'm trying to make. I feel like Savage, I don't think he tweeted these things because of his sales. I just want to say that. Because I think there's people saying, nah, man, nigga, you only said that. I think he honestly tweeted this because the conversation that he had start flipping. And people are looking at him not only like, yo, bro, we usually look at you for the voice of reason, bro. That's Savage. Savage is the voice of reason. As I said, I look at him like that personally because he's put me on the phone with people, and I've seen him say, yo, come on, knock that rapper shit off, man. Like, y'all talk like, man, come on. Like, come on, let's do this. That's him. So I think as a human, he's been looking at the conversation, and he's a loyal nigga, but he's not a fake nigga, too. And he starts seeing people like they're just looking at him like, oh no, you just picking up for Thug. Whatever Thug say, you're just gonna repeat it. Oh man, like y'all niggas is hypocrites. And I think that's why he came out with it. You know, at the end of the day, like, and again, I know some people, no matter what I say, they're gonna still say whatever. Hip hop isn't a down right now. Now, granted, do I think Savage happy with his sales? Nah. Yo, Baby did 34,000 first week. Baby did 34,000. Thug did 54,000. Look like Savage gonna be doing, and that's the first album out this year. Look like Savage gonna be doing like 54. Gunna, who did 120 before, did 80. Bro, there's nobody who's dropping music that's going up. And I ain't gonna lie, I would tell Savage the same thing. Like, bro, like, you're not an exception to the only nigga who gonna go up. Only two niggas gonna really go up. The next time Kendrick drop, he's up. The next time Drake drop, he's up. Well, actually, no. If Kendrick drops before Drake, if he drops after Drake and Drake got a classic, nobody gives a fuck about Kendrick no more. Send it back to Gulag. Drake shit's going up no matter when. Like, Drake could drop midnight, New Year's Eve is going up, because in reality, this is, you know, as much as whatever, it's the best rollout plan. But I'm saying all that to say, I don't think these tweets came out because of, I don't think these tweets came out because of his sales. I think Savage look at these niggas like his brothers, right? He cares about them. And he's tried to do nothing but play peacemaker, like how he's done in many situations. And he's watching people start to change the narrative about him. Remember what last year, and he said it. Remember last year, he says, yo, last year y'all said I was the realest nigga. He's not saying like this is why like my album would have did this. You could tell, and this is why I kind of feel bad for the Atlanta crew, because they're gangster niggas, but they don't want to act like they have feelings, bro. Like, y'all all got feelings. Yo, Thug, you was hurt as a motherfucker over Gunna, bro. Nigga, we seen it. Your voice was cracking. You wanted to cry, but you were trying to make it seem cool. Not saying like you faking none, but you was trying to make it like, it's just because he betrayed me. Bro, this is your man. This is your friend. This is a guy who has met your kids. This is like, you're hurt about it. And I think he does kind of say that. But when I look at Savage even saying this stuff, I think he's hurt from the discourse. Because I think he's one nigga who's like, bro, I took my energy to try to fix shit between people. And I ain't gonna lie, maybe it is him looking at the internet a little bit too much though. Because he's looking at the internet and hearing people switch up their stance. Remember when them calls came out? Nigga, yo, everybody said, yo, it's one thing about, look, nigga, I remember even Brilliant Idiots. Well, really, Sean, man, you know, Brilliant Idiots. Everybody was saying, you know who the realest nigga is? 21 Savage.
But, free.
Look,
music Thug gonna be making, and it's like Thug playlist. Let me let you.
hold on. Everybody said it. Everybody said it. Is it this? Nah. I can't find a full conversation. But everybody was saying, yo, what we all realize from these leak calls is that Savage is a real ass nigga. And I'm gonna be honest with you. And he probably won't like me saying this, but I think, bro, these things matter to him. I think he's been watching the conversation switch up. He's seen dumb shit happen. And he's watching, like, people getting really fractured. And I think he was a little emotional. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's my nigga. But I think these tweets was him kind of saying, yo, bro, like, nigga, I'm down to say what I've been saying privately to y'all, to the world. Yo, he said this kind of on the jail calls. Yo, bro, you know, he not saying the nigga ain't ratted. He's just like, bro, you know the nigga wasn't a gangster anyway, bro. Like, put like this. If Savage found out that I pressed charges on somebody for something, you think Savage would be like, nah, I ain't fucking with Act no more? Or would he be like, bro, y'all knew Act was going to do some shit like that? I think that's how he's looking at Gunna now. I think it gets complicated because, yes, Gunna was a Crip. Gunna was in the whip, like, basically. You know what I mean? So it does get complicated, but I think that's why he's saying it, right? So if we go back to these tweets, you know, I think this was he says, last year I was the realest nigga for trying to stop Thug from exposing Gunna. Now I'm fake. Bro, who's saying he's fake now? It's only fans. He's talking to fans, or not necessarily talking to fans, but he's addressing the new narrative that fans are keeping up. Like, yo, man, that nigga savage. And why do they keep up that narrative? It's because he did that interview right before his album dropped, and the interview, there's no way to make this shit look good. And in really thinking about this, everybody's hurting because they're stuck between loyalty and logic. Loyalty and logic. You see, loyalty trump logic. Remember I said that before. Logic is, yo, we in the club. Why you step on that nigga's shoe? Yo, bro, you know you was wrong. What you doing, bro? Like, yo, hold on. Yo, ayo, nah, we got this. Our man's. Hold on, my bad. He drunk. You stop the fight. Nah, he drunk. No, hold on. Chill. Yo, we got this, bro. My bad. Like, yo, you know, we apologize for that. You bring him to the side, bro. You need some water? You good? Yo, you stepping on niggas' kicks in here? Like, you wilding in here. Like, that's logic. Like, yo, bro. And then the nigga might be drunk, like, nah, I ain't step on his shoes. Like, nah, that nigga, he this. Bro, that didn't happen. Like, you stepped on a nigga's shoe. You wilding in here. Like, this is how we could get into it. Chill out, dog. Yo, matter of fact, let's go home, dog. That's logic. Loyalty, and it's not like, you know, I may not be the best example, but still, like, loyalty is your man drunk, step on somebody's shoes, they're getting into it, he's shouting now it gets into a thing or whatever. Yo, y'all fighting, you fight with your man, you know your man was wrong. Yo, I'm just loyal to my man. I got to rock out with him. And I think that's where I'm seeing Atlanta being stuck in between. I think Savage was stuck in between that today. And it's kind of sad because the way how people perceive street niggas is that they don't look at them as anybody that have any type of, they don't even look at them as emotions. Like, have emotions. Like, yo, these guys are friends. Like, yo, these guys are friends. These guys were cool. Like, they're going through it. I don't think people look at it like that. Like, yo, they're going through it. And I think what Savage is saying is that, yo, Wham, like, bro, like, we all got to get past this, but just remember that we kind of knew Gunna was not the type of niggas that we associate with, but we love Thug, and we're loyal to him. Thug been good to us. We've been good to him. So we rode out on that principle. However, when we rode out on that principle, the Rico shit happened, and yes, ma'am. Why could we be that mad at Gunna? That's how I'm reading all this. Right? And then, obviously, he's addressing, you know, I think y'all calling him a hypocrite. Like, I think he's so, keep in mind what he tweeted, the realist. Right? He cares about his reputation, man. He cares about what people think about him in the sense of, I'm not a snake. I'm not some type of rat that's going to, like, you know, do it. No. So he's trying to get to the place where people understand him. So he even says to QCP, I told you to your face you did wrong. But I ain't into trying to bash you online. It would have made the city look bad. You were putting all the young niggas on. It would have fucked up the money. Does it make sense what I'm saying? I don't want to repeat it for another time. I feel like it makes sense. Does it make sense? And you know what? Y'all said don't get on Discord, so it's fine. I'm gonna open up the let me open up all the chats. You guys could just send, it doesn't have to be a donation of a lot. Just ask whatever questions and I'll answer them. Because I kind of feel like I fully get it. But the way I get it, everybody's going to say it looks pussy. Because if you a gangster, you're not supposed to have any type of emotions or even think about shit like this. Give me a second. Joe said a bit long-winded, but you got to the point. Hey, just clip that last part. Rate Savage's album. Let me pull up his albums. 21 Savage's album. I really like I Am Great. To me, this is a classic. Okay, we're not bringing in the mixtapes, right? So let me just go off studio albums. I Am Greater Than I Was. I'm going at number 1. I ain't gonna lie to you. Am I going Issa? I might go Issa. No. I did like 7-minute freestyle. Okay. I'm going I Am Greater Than I Was, American Dream. Issa, then I'll go WAP Into the Streets. We're not gonna count collab albums or mixtapes. Just because if we count those, the ranking changes. But I would say it's number 4 on his album list, which he only has 4, right? So yo, let me say this, man. I'm not from Atlanta, man. But y'all dudes gotta bury y'all pride and y'all ego. I'm not telling y'all to forgive Gunna. But the reality of this is that y'all gonna have to figure out what y'all are standing on in rap. And I think everybody's been going through that. Yo, put it like this. The song I love by Baby, when he's like, yo, you want me to pull up the lyrics? Superman lyrics. Lil Baby. Bro, it shows exactly what I'm saying. These artists are having a tug and war match between loyalty and love. Loyalty and what was the other thing? I said loyalty and logic. Listen to Lil Baby. He says, I don't show no favoritism. I'm going through that shit. It's not peace. With P. He's talking about the same thing about snitching. Because you know what's happening? Everyone's saying, well, if you don't fuck with him because he's snitching, what about this guy? He did the same thing too. If you fuck with him and he did that, and you don't fuck with him because he did that, you picking and choosing. And these guys, they really are trying to be loyal to this code. You could tell they're trying. He's rapping about it. I don't show no favoritism, going through that shit with P. Look, just go back a couple lines. $100 for a 3-5. I'm still serving a block. Can't believe these niggas ate the cheese. And it used to be Fam Gul Rollo. Can't Cameras all on me. Bro, that shit ain't G. I don't show no favoritism going through that shit with P. Basically saying, I'm calling out all people who ratted. So now let's think about it. We're talking about logic and loyalty. Bro, you're loyal to Thug, bro. And I'm pretty sure it was a hard thing for him to separate his loyalty, because he was loyal at that point to Gunna, it seemed. He had to get to a point to say, nah, I can say fuck this nigga. But of course now it's, you know, people are trying to like press the Thug thing, and you love Thug, and I'm not saying he should disavow Thug. What I'm saying is that what these artists are struggling with is, are y'all going with logic or you're going with loyalty? And Rollo said the same thing. You know what Rollo said? Yo, I'm never going against my friend. In one of them early rants when he was talking about Thug, he said, listen, man, yo, that snitching shit, fuck that. I'm never going against my friend. You see, some of these street dudes, they were just acting like, nah, you know, let's call a spade a spade. I don't give a fuck who it is. No, bro, that's not how life works. Everybody picks and chooses. And by the way, I would have respected a lot of these guys if they were saying, nah, we are picking and choosing. Now, granted, that would affect them because people wouldn't give them the same amount of like energy. But yeah.
About us.
Who the fuck you could? Like, if he would have went to trial, the state, if his shit was getting used in trial, which it was, unless I got out the case, his plea agreement was gonna get used in trial. I know they saying like, oh, he ain't had to get.
I thought an effort plea don't mean that.
Yes, he had to get on. He ain't had to get on the stand. You know, they pushing all those narratives. He ain't had to get on the stand. He wasn't gonna testify against nobody. Yes, he was. If you look at the end of his plea, that shit say this plea agreement could be presented in trial, and if any.
Yo, somebody said I made an excuse for a bad album. Bro, I'm not saying none of this has nothing to do with his album. Yo, y'all could trash 21's album. If you don't like it, you don't like it. It's okay. Put it like this. If you need me to say it, his album didn't do good. Numbers wise, of course it didn't do good. What I'm trying to say is that the conversation of these tweets are not a manifestation of that. It's a manifestation of these rappers, and I'm telling you exactly who I'm talking about. Thug is also part of it, even though it feels like they're loyal to Thug. But Thug, Baby, Savage, I think the Future thing is a little bit non-related. I think we have to figure out what that was. I don't think Future wants to have an opinion on these guys, because I don't think that's his fight.
Questions come up about this plea, however they wrote it. If anything come about this plea, you must come testify truthfully about what you said in this plea.
Nah.
Nigga, look, every one of they plea said that, except mine. Every plea said that except mine. In Lil 9. Every one of them nigga who took a plea in the beginning.
Yeah. So, all I'm going to say is, man, it's kind of unfortunate because I think some of these guys live and die by hanging their hat on what the streets say, and they want to be seen as logical. And I get it. There's a point of like being a hypocrite if you're not logical, but man, the reality is y'all know each other very well. Y'all know each other, kids, baby moms, parents. You're not going to just say, fuck this guy, I'll never talk to him, just because this idea that someone told. So, yeah. Somebody said I wouldn't say his album's bad. Bro, Chad, his album isn't bad. Bro, his album's like the reality, if I had to rank his album's like a B-. He needed a couple more slaps to me. B-. Bro, This is why it's interesting.